Hey guys, we're here with Walter Jule at San Isidro Games in San Diego, California. He's going to be presenting us his deck. He did place second place. He's a second place finalist at Nationals. So, Walter, how does it feel? You're going to Japan.
It feels pretty good. It's kind of surreal still. I can't believe I'm gonna go, but I guess I am. Feels pretty good.
Oh, and something that we have to talk about is why Pendulum over Sky Striker or Gokis?
Well, Pendulum Magicians has a really good matchup against Trick Stars and Pure Sky Strikers, which was most of the meta going into every Nationals. I expected Goki. I actually thought Goki was the best deck. Like, it's the best deck for sure. Because if the combo just goes unresolved, they just win the match no matter of the game, no matter what. But it is a lot more fragile than this deck. This deck's super resilient. It plays through hand traps like in no other deck. I kept getting hand trapped like throughout the tournament. Like, I would have 2 or 3 hand traps, drop them in, and I would still make a board. And Goki can't really do that. So that's why I chose to play this, just because you winning against tricksters through hand traps, you OTK them through troll combos sometimes and scapegoats. And it has a decent Goki match. If you win the die roll, you can just usually win the match. And if you go second and you draw your side deck, you might just win the match too. So it's kind of like a 50-50.
All right, and taking into consideration the deck choice that you made, everybody wants to know, how did you prepare for this event?
Well, I came here to this locals every day after school. I usually stay here from like 3 p.m. to like 9 p.m. until they close. I would go home and play on Duelist until like 2-3 a.m. I did that for like about a month, and I thought I got pretty good with the deck. Yeah, I even have this. I tested so many cards. I have like this huge box. Like, these are all texts that I thought about playing. I tried the 60 card build. I tried the DDD build. I tried the Odd Eyes build. I tried like so many cards in the side deck. But yeah, at the end I ended up going with this. It's pretty good.
All right, as you can tell, this is every Yu-Gi-Oh player's dream, getting to Nationals, being a top place finalist. But now let's get to what everybody else wants to know. Show us the deck.
Well, played Pendulum Magicians. For the Magician count, I played just 1 Black Fang, 1 Poison.
All right, this is something that we want to talk about. Why just 1 Purple Poison and 1 Black Fang in a Pendulum Magician deck?
Black Fang's pretty good. I like Black Fang more than Poison, but they're both still kind of subpar. They don't really advance your game state. They're just kind of there for as a low skill and a high skill with like an extra quirk. I almost cut Poison, but I just wanted to have access to it. Like, sometimes you just OTK, and sometimes you need to get rid of. You can search with Pendulum Call and get rid of a Floodgate. But I thought the Black Magicians were kind of bad in the deck. Kind of like last format, people were cutting on them. So I just had to make room for better cards for the deck. Also, through Wisdom Eye, this is actually really good because it's any skill you want when you have another Magician. And if you can make an Electromite and you have a Pendulum and a scale, it helps you get Harmonizing Magician to your hand, because you scale it and you have Oath Dragon, you skill Wisdom Eye. You add back the Wisdom Eye, and then you put this in, replace it with this, and then you add back this to the hand, and then you have a Wisdom Eye with a Harmonizing in the hand. And yeah, Harmonizing is one of the best cards. Obviously, it helps you make your basic first turn play, which is Kerrigan, Vortex, and usually a Jackal. So you really want access to it, like, whenever, as much as you can. I also played 2 Oath Dragon.
And this card. How was 2 Oath Dragon as compared to 1 or 3?
Okay, it was really good. I considered playing 3 like a couple times. Never won because I played 3 Desires, so I would never want to banish it. I want access to it every game. And yeah, I even considered 3. 2 is good enough, I guess. But yeah, this is really good. I use it. It's just a +1 every turn. You use it for like a small play to like get Harmonized to your hand. It's a low skill. It's good all around. It also you'll also summon a lot of Harmonizing to make Naruto. And if it's in my extra deck, since I XYZ a lot, I just Pendulum summon it like every turn as much as I can to like make an Electromite, and it's a +1 because it adds something from the grave back to my hand, which is really good when you randomly get into grinds. So I played these guys. This is not a Garnet. It's a little bit, but it's also not a Garnet because it's a good skill. And it's a Pendulum monster. But yeah, you gotta play it. I drew it a couple times, but like still pretty good.
This whole day too.
Yeah, this is so you can make vortex. It also negates lights, which is like we all know it's. I guess you can negate Candina, which it's not very relevant since Candina doesn't do much. But it does negate Assault, which is really big. And yeah, I would randomly summon it against Goki sometimes. Then I played, yeah, for the extenders, I played 3 chronographs. Really good extender, some of the other guy. I almost never I never like send it with Electrum first and then summon more Electrums. I just use it as an extender most of the time, or 2 ATK. I played 3 Curtain Racers, another good extender, 3 Servers with 2 Jackals. I tried to play as many counters as I could. And yeah, the Jackal is just really good as a negator. Dark Spellcaster works with everything. It's really good. Oh, also the Mythical Beast is really cool because I play Magical Abductor, and Magical Abductor gains spell counters, which the Mythical Beast can use to activate their effects. So there were a couple times where I would have a Jackal with like no negates, and then because I would go first, and then I was able to put like counters on it, but my Magical Abductor would have counters, and I would play against like Goki, which activate no spells, so they wouldn't enable it. And they would think they were safe because they would bait out like my Vortex, and if it was blind, I wouldn't make Dweller. So they would bait out the 1 negate, and they would think I didn't have any more negates. But then I would have counters on Abductor, and I would just take off counters off of there, and then it would mess up their whole play. Yeah, I guess those are the extenders. For plus cards, I played 3 Abductors. This is one of the weaker cards in the deck, along with Poison. I cited it out a lot, but this card with an extender, with like almost every extender, which are Curtain Riser, Chronograph, and Dragon Foolish, it does gain 3 counters because those are all spells that you activate. Then you'll activate another skill that you'll pop. That's the second one, and then you'll activate your final skill. They will give you the +1, and usually it's just the last piece of the combo that you need to make the 4 negate board. So it's really good, but I did set it out a lot because it's good when you have an extender, which is it's kind of win more, but it's also the fact that it's a level 4. It's really relevant because this deck wants to be all level 4, 6, and 7s, since its objective is to play through hand traps. So once they do hand trap you as much as they can, you can just Pendulum summon everything and just overlay them. Then yeah, 3 Dark Worm. Oh, these are really nice secret. 3 Dark Worm, 2 Gate. I guess the ratio was perfect. Sometimes I was testing 1 and I wouldn't have it enough. Sometimes I would play 3 because this is good to draw by itself even without Dark Worm, and I would kind of see too much. But 2 is really good. The second one comes up a lot with Desires, and when you're grinding, I try to have this in the grave as much as possible. Like I try to overlay with this a lot. I know a lot of times I can even on stream I could have made plays where I end up with like floating harmonizing, like an extra monster in the field, or but I wouldn't have this in the grave, and I would choose to like have 1 less monster in the field that does nothing and have this in the graveyard to have a backup plays. And yeah, it's really good. Obviously, this is the best extender with Dragon Shrine, since it's a Pendulum on the field that gives you a future play, and it gives you the level 7. And the combo with this deck usually needs you to have 2 7s, 2 4s, like a Jackal, and 1 Hamster just for the utility. I didn't use that much, but it's pretty good.
And something I want to stop you right there. Something that's resilient that I saw is you don't play any hand traps in the main.
Yeah.
How does that?
Well, hand traps are really bad against Trickstar. They're only good against Goki, and I wanted this deck to never lose to Trickstar, so I made it so that I don't have very many draw targets, or I have a lot of draw targets or cards that get hurt by draw, but none of them are, only a few of them are actually important to resolve. For example, a lot of time I would summon Dark Worm and not search, because a lot of time you can get the gate 0 through other ways, so you don't need it. Like Magical Abductor gets hurt by draw, but you don't really need to search with it. Cerberus, the important ones are Cerberus, Pendulum Call, and Desires. If you have multiple cities and they draw, it hurts because you actually can't do anything with them after. But that's why usually starting with 1 of these and 1 or 2 of these in hand, if they draw you, it doesn't really do anything to you. So that was like the whole theory of my deck, playing through draw and Ash. So the DDDs the DDDs, the Magic Specters, all the other cards that they play in the plus cards that the turbo decks play, they lose to Droll a lot, and they play into Droll a lot. So I didn't play those because of that. And
Yeah, I saw during stream you actually got drolled a couple of times, and it seems that you played through it, so it seems as almost hand traps don't really have much effect on your deck.
yeah, unless I get really unlucky and draw like these three together, a hand trap will just be like a -1 on my opponent. Like it will not do anything.
Actually, I remember a time in the finals playing against your opponent, you actually ended up getting drolled and dashed, and it seems that you still made a board that ended up winning the game.
Yeah, he basically just went -2. I lost like a draw from Electrum and I think Gate 0, but they weren't really that relevant since if my board survived, I just have a game if I draw any Pendulum next turn.
Alright, any other spells that you ran in the deck?
Yeah, so I mean, I went out of order, I guess, but played the 3 Dragon Shank because it's the best extender. It's the best extender, but then it's the worst card to draw off Electromite or the worst card to draw after turn 1. But it's really good. So like, I was playing 3, but it was like too much. 3 is like good enough.
And for your deck build, it seems that you played the 40 card variant as compared to the 60 card variant that's hopped over in the YCS. Why was that?
I touched on it a little bit earlier. If you play the 60 card variant, the reason you played it is because you have a lot of plus cards and a lot of cards that end up searching. And you make 3 Electrums, and you make like an unbreakable board. And yeah, that board's really good. That board's stronger against higher ceiling decks. But the format right now is not really high ceiling outside of Goki. So you don't need to do that to win. And by playing those cards and by playing that version of the deck, you play into hand traps more. So I decided to play this deck to make my deck just more resilient since it was good enough to be Trickstar. And
Is there anything you wish you could have played in the main deck that you didn't end up playing, or anything that you wish you wouldn't have played? Any deck changes?
Pendulum was really good. At one point, I almost cut it, but then I kept drawing hands where I didn't have the right skills, so I put it back in, and yeah, it's really good. I'm gonna play with the idea of 3. I didn't want to play 3 because it plays into Ash and Droll. I didn't play Duelist Alliance to search it because yeah, it plays into Droll too. So yeah, I'm gonna try 3. Poison. I didn't really like Poison, but I feel like you have to play it just because it's so useful with the OTKs and like being able to pop cards. Yeah, 3 Desires was really good.
Alright, and you want to show us your extra deck?
Yeah. So shout out to Ken. Here's my token, my sponsor. So yeah, of course, 3 Electrums. I only go into turn 1 usually. If I go into 2, it's very unusual for me to go into 2. It's because of the links I play. I play Firewall, but I don't play like Griffin. So
were you scared of getting cherries at all throughout the tournament?
No, not really. You can play through cherries because the decks that cherries you are actually, if Goki cherries me, I would be scared. But if Trickster cherries me, I'm not really scared. Pure Sky Striker, I have a really good matchup. I can literally just summon big guys and like you're gonna have a hard time. So I wasn't really that afraid of cherries, and I thought if people played cherries, a lot of them wouldn't just respect the deck, so they wouldn't just play Electromite. It happened to me a couple of times, so I won like all the games that they cherries me. If I remember correctly. Yeah, so I play these Metaltron because you go into it. Firewall. I played Firewall mostly as the cherries target, because I play cherries. And because sometimes during testing, I would randomly need a bounce or a way to get over like a Licorice when they had like a lot of Incarnations in grave, like without giving them the Trickstar. And so I thought it would have some utility. And in case I needed to go into like the crazy play where with the turbo play where you make 3 Electrums and you turn into Firewall. But I didn't really go into it. Underclock is sometimes needed with cherries. If they give you Abele, you can use link it away. I made it a couple times. I also ATK'd with it. It's pretty good. Borreload, because Borreload is really good. I saw a lot of lists that weren't playing it, but it's just nuts. It's Borreload.
Oh, Vortex Dragons.
Yeah, so I play these. This is the go-to negation because it can negate anything. It's really big, so like it's hard to get over. I mean, we all know what it does. Negates anything.
Now, this is a card that I want to talk about, or I want you to explain. Carnagorgon. How was that throughout the tournament?
Oh, so when I started to think like a month ago with the deck. And at first I was playing. At first, before Steven Triff topped with it, I was playing like an Aturia Turbo build. And like I was making a Aturia Beast, and then I saw his build with 60 cards, and I played it, and I didn't really, I didn't like it for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. So I also didn't like the Aturia Beast deck, and I would be trying to make unbreakable boards, and I would always end up being able to like make random rank 4s, and I was going through like a list of rank 4s, like, oh, I have my deck books over here. I looked to see which one were like some of the best extra cards that I can make with 2 level 4s. I was playing with Giant Hand. I was playing with this guy, with Baguska. But against Trickstar and Sky Striker, this is like the absolute best since all their outs to a big monster like Vortex target. So you can just make this guy. If you don't have any other legal targets besides these two, you can even just sacrifice this because you'll have this and Metaltron. You can even just sacrifice this guy, and it'll do its job because Trickstars only have like 3 outs to like a big guy. They'll have the Afterburner, sometimes the Widow Anchor to bait it, and they'll have a Cerberus and like a Unicorn. But like, if they're able to activate all 4 of those in their hand, like they do a Gone hand, usually they can only do 2 or 3. So when you make this, you have 2 to 3 negates for Trickstar, and usually this also has like a Jackal on board. And if you're like a super nutty hand, you have this, and you also have a Norito on board, which is like, it's like crazy. This is like if you draw kind of perfect, but usually this is enough. I more commonly make Jackal. If you draw like a Jackal, you draw Cerberus, you draw Harmonizing, you just drop this.
And another card that I saw was very important to you in your games was Abyss Dweller. How was that in your matchups?
Oh, so I was gonna set Abyss Dweller, but it would come up actually against Trickstar. I mean, this deck was mainly with Trickstar, and then against Goki, it would just be a toss-up. I did expect there to be a lot of Goki, but if I go first, like I should theoretically win about half the games when I go first, and then another portion of the game where I'm able to like hand trap them post side. Even if I like lose game first, like if I win game 2 and game 3, I'm able to draw a hand trap and run out. I should be able to win another portion of that. And if they break, since I mean they do break sometimes, even though it's pretty consistent. So I didn't main this with Goki in mind, since in a tournament I wouldn't know to make this going in blind first until I'm a top cut. But I played this so I could a Trickster, when they have lower incarnations, I could no Trickster gift, I can use it and then OTK them without them being able to have it. And it's just randomly good, like once you know the deck.
And what other cards did you have in your extra deck? Finish it up.
So I had Narita for just more negations. That's pretty good. Oh, this is really good for playing through Scapegoats, because if you summon 2 level 6s, a lot of people forget about this card. So I'll be like, oh, summon my 2 level 6s with like Chronograph or something. I'll be like, anything. They'll be like, yeah, that's fine. I'll make this, and then they'll look at their Scapegoat and they'll be sad. They'll be like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that card. Yeah, it's pretty good. Tornado.
Tornado.
Yeah, Tornado's Tornado, I guess. I saw a lot of people in like feature matches and stuff making this turn 1, which is really weird. I would only make it turn 1 against pure Sky Striker, because you have to pop the multi-roll, otherwise you wouldn't be able to like negate their outs. So yeah, it's just for like popping random stuff. Oh, I did a cool play when I had the Absolute guy, and I put against a Goki board that didn't go through game 1, like his combo didn't go through, and I made my Absolute, and I had to go into Vortex, but he had 2 back row, he used one of them, and I was thinking he didn't use the other one. I was thinking about what it could have been, so I figured it was Called by the Grave, so I just popped it so he wouldn't Call by the Grave it, and then he thought he was gonna get me, but he didn't. Yeah, I played this. This is really cool. So I saw Jeremy Williams, I think, played it too. This is for when you single into this with Harmonizing and Time Gazer, and you summon it when you either desire away like all your 7s, or when you have an awkward hand that can't make Pendulum, Electrum, or you have to scale the level 7. You summon it. What it does is it summons a monster in your Pendulum zone, and you can just overlay my Vortex with it easily. It's basically an extra deck level 7 that allows you to go into Vortex, and this also lets you make some crazy boards. Like if you open the Nutty, you can make crazy boards of like 2 Jackals, Vortex, and like a Kerrigorgon or rank 4. So it's kind of like an extra deck extender. It's pretty cool, and it has a cool synergy with Absolute. So where's Absolute? Absolute, when a monster attacks, you can detach a card to negate it, and it summons an Otis from the grave. So if you make it with these 2, you can detach this to get an attack, and then summon it from your grave. So 2 OTK, sometimes I would make Absolute. I wouldn't even make Vortex yet, and I would attack with them, and then this would come out of the grave. And what this does is, my opponent can activate card effects in the battle phase, so it would negate card effects. Also, if it randomly stays on the field and you don't kill like a Trickstar, they can't Firewall loop you because they can't activate like effects during the loop. It didn't come up in the tournament, but during testing, like, it happened like a couple times where they would try to loop me and they wouldn't know.
What does the rest of your extra deck look like?
It's just last card is Clear Ring. I saw a lot of people not playing this, but it's really good. It plays through Scapegoats or big boards, Borrowload. It makes OTKs really easy. Sometimes when you go in, you can't, and your opponent like search engages, or you're playing as Goki and you can't give him a turn. This will just enable your OTKs so that you don't have to give them a turn, you're just in the game right there.
Alright, something very important is your side deck. How did your side deck look like?
Yeah, so well, first of all, shout out to Kid again.
Good looking man, right there.
3 Dankos, I got this. It's probably the MVP of the side. Like, every time I summon this, I think I didn't win one game, but almost every time I summon this, I won. Summoning a Trickster and then you just OTK them. Like, it's very simple. That matchup is very, it's so one-sided. It doesn't matter. You can just summon it and win. There was a guy where I had 2 and I couldn't kill him because I drew 2. So if it was a Pendulum scale, I would have been able to like kill him. But it wasn't, like, I had to like wait a turn. So I left my Danko out, and then he killed it. He searched for Reincarnation, and then I was asking him like he wanted to activate the Reincarnation, but he didn't. I guess because he thought it was fish that I was asking him. And then I just summoned the other one, and then I just attacked. But yeah, you do this against Trickster, you do this against random backrow decks. I don't like doing it against decks like Ultra Gaze and Draco that will flip a 90 spell on standby, because then this is useless, but you do it against anything else. 3-rate Reboot. This is like another Danko, but this can't stop Scapegoat. But yeah, it's just another way to OTK. Yeah, you should probably do it on the first trap that they activate. But yeah,
it happens.
Sometimes if you read Reboot and you can't kill them, like if you don't have game in hand, you could be in a very bad position, especially if they search like double engage, because they'll get a new Reincarnation. You paid 4,000 life points, and they'll have like double engage, double Reincarnation set. So those games you can lose if you don't manage to kill them, like if they hand trap you or something. So that's why sometimes I'm hesitant to activate it. And like if they like want to reincarnate me, like I'd rather have a Pendulum card. So yeah, but you should still probably like do it on the first trap. I play 2 Stone Chester for decks that will do floodgates, like Ravelry, that I will need to pop after like I draw this. I also do it against Pure Sky Striker because it's just really good. And if you're good enough to draw the Supreme King with this, it's game over. So this is what I decided for like rogue decks, and then 3 Cherries and 3 Impermanents for Goki, or I guess a combo deck that I would need. Impermanents I also sided against monster fluggy decks like EA. And I thought a niche of Cherries would be, I could win the mirror match more often, but I guess there was no Pendulums there. I thought it would be more popular since they got second at UK Nationals and it won the RG. I was a little mad when like that happened, because I thought like, man, people are gonna like expect my deck more because they'll know it's good, but I guess they didn't. And I said the 1 Cowboy for time, like if I needed it. Actually, I would set it in. I was maining this before, because sometimes you just need the 800 damage just to close out the game, like an OTK. But I decided to go for Firewall instead, and I would say this in like every single game too, on forward, just because it's just a good main deck card, like not even because of time. It's just good to like OTK. I only beat someone in time with it like once, since the deck doesn't really go into time. It either OTKs or it doesn't win, I guess. But it does win.
Any cards you missed in the side deck?
I knew there was gonna be a lot more Goki in this tournament than in the other nationals and events. So I think maybe I should have done more hand traps. But this deck doesn't really like hand traps, it likes pendulums. But since that is like the hardest matchup and like it's an all boost, I think I should do like something more against Goki. I kept going over this or Sphere Mode, but I decided to go with Cherries over Sphere Mode because of the card that discards your whole hand, the Gumbler guy. But I guess in finals I drew this with Outstars, so if it would have been Sphere Mode, I would have won, I guess.
And rounding out the deck, let's talk about your experience. Did you feel confident throughout your matches? Is there a certain matchup that you wish you had played less? Any matchup that was certainly hard, etc., etc.?
Yeah, I felt really good. I had a ton of practice. Like I had dozens of hours of practice with this deck. I've also been playing this deck for like a long time. I played it a little bit after Zoo format, like right after the Zoo Nationals, when it just came out, because I didn't have another deck and it was like really cheap, so I built it like for fun. And then I played it for all of Spiral format because I don't know. I would just beat Spirals with it. Like you would just they would go first, you would OTK them. You would go. They would let you. They started going second. You would go first. You would make side blocker. You would call Super Agent. They couldn't do anything. Then you would OTK them. So I played all of that format. I played all of Pendulum format, of course. And then.
And how were your matches day one? Do you remember your matches? Just what did you lose to? What did you end up winning against? Just
day
a quick
one.
recap.
Yeah, day one I went 6-0, and then I played against. I had to play against one of my friends that I went with. Like, we slept on the same bed, and then we had to play. Yeah,
Oh,
the
maybe
same
on the same bed.
That was kind of bad. That was one of my hardest matchups. Is he knew what like all my cards did. He actually knew how to play against Pendulum, which a lot of trickster players didn't. Like when we were playtesting him, like he would actually beat me. So that was one of the harder matchups. I played the one trickster I lost to was round 7. I won game 1, then game 2 he opened up anti-spell and I didn't have an out. Game 3. I let him go first because you always go second against Trickstar. Oh, that's why I don't cite anything for going first, except like sometimes this against Goki. For when they like hand trap you and you can't make a good board, put in a board, like I guess it's just this would be better than like another scale usually.
I agree.
But yeah, I don't cite anything for going first. I choose to go second against Trickstar, and it also plays around like Sphere Mode and Cherries if I make them go first and evenly match. So he made me go first, and that was a hard match. And then I lost the round after to Goki, and after that I just won out until finals.
Is there anything else that you would like to do now that you top finals, which is every Yu-Gi-Oh player's dream? What are your goals from now on?
I don't know. I'm just happy to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I really like to play Yu-Gi-Oh. When I made top cut, I was just happy that I was just gonna keep playing. And every round I played, I would just be happy that I get to play more Yu-Gi-Oh. Up until like top 4, where I started to die after like a couple of days of like not sleeping, not eating all day.
And
But,
yeah,
yeah.
rounding out that, is there anybody you'd like to shout out? Anybody you'd like to mention? Anything you would like to say?
Okay, well, I have tons of shoutouts. I didn't have it by myself. I had a lot of people supporting me, playtesting with me every day. We would come here and playtest all day. I would go home. There'd be more people I would playtest with on Dueling Book. Yeah, shout out to everybody here at Sunny City Games. The store made me who I am. They helped me be a better player. So yeah, it's a really good store. I love it here. Shout out to all these guys that went with me. Shout out to everybody. Todos en Tijuana, todos en Ensenada, que me ayudaron a practicar.
Right, we're gonna get there. We're gonna.
Shout out to the US team. Congrats to Gabe, really cool guy. Shout out to Ryan, Nicolo, Cheval for letting me borrow cards, Jeff for letting me borrow cards, Ken for like making the rest of the deck, Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah, man.
And with that said, congratulations, Walter, and a big round of applause from everybody here at the store.
Woo, man.
Wish you the best of luck at Worlds.
Good job, buddy. All right, we're out, man.